Welcome F1 fans, where qualifying will be starting in the next few minutes as the teams prepare to get out on track at the Sochi Autodrome here in Russia. It always looked like the kind of track that asks an awful lot of the rear tyres, such as the frequency of low-speed exits.
No matter how good a driver is at managing their throttle application to limit rear slip, they can't always overcome a car that's inherently bad at looking after its rear tyres. Here we have a lot of low-speed corner exits, which means a whole load of energy, heat and tyre wear.
The grid is all set then for the race tomorrow. But before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top three, who are Rosberg, Hamilton and Daniel Ricciardo. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. down from the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your top three. Rosberg, Hamilton and Daniel Ricciardo. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow. Welcome one and all to the Russian Grand Prix. We're just a stone's throw from the Georgian border here at Sochi as we get ready to begin the race that served up an absolute cracker back in 2015. A last lap collision between Kimim Räikkönenem and Valtteri Bottas sparked controversy in that race, so let's hope the racing is just as tight today. Built on the shores of the Black Sea, the Sochi Autodrome is a 3.6-mile tour around some of the venues built for the 2014 Winter Olympic Games. Close barriers may make overtakes more challenging, but with 56% of the lap taken absolutely flat out, we certainly won't be wanting for pure speed. A fitting arena then to do battle at the pinnacle of motorsport. And alongside me to take you through it all is none other than Anthony Davidson. This was a circuit that I think in its inaugural race got off to a bit of a shaky start, but since then it's really drawn the fans in and become a very popular event. What do you think changed?
But this just goes to show the importance of fixing problems as and when you discover them. As a complete unknown quantity in 2014, the tyre choice was quite conservative, which didn't really allow much in terms of different strategy options. So it was pretty much as you were from lights to flag. But that was a great learning experience, and we came back the next year and had a really exciting Grand Prix, with battles for the podium going on all the way to the final lap. So hopefully we'll be treated to more of the same this year.
You should have some space going into the first corner, so try to keep it tidy.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Nico Rosberg is on pole position today after coming out on top of a difficult qualifying. And it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Vettel, Max Verstappen and Bottas, Räikkönen, Massa, Hülkenberg and Sergio Perez, Button, Alonso, Romain Grosjean and Sainz, Kvyat, Gutierrez, Pascal Wehrlein and Kevin Magnussen, Palmer and Harry Anto, Felipe Nasser and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
It looks like the problem is terminal. They're retiring the car.
Brilliant stuff from Mercedes today. That's another historic win. Tell me, Ant, what was the key to this success?
Well, I think the track conditions just really suited their car today. Wind, track temperature, you name it. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature. So the more easily you can keep them there, the better your race tends to go. And that's exactly what happened. Their car just looks so comfortable out there.
So as I say that, we can see the drivers coming out now to collect their trophies. It's yet more silverware to take back to their base in Brackley after another excellent Grand Prix. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. It's a good result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
It's got to be Jolyon Palmer. He was in another league for me today. Really impressive stuff.
On to the constructors then. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. Meanwhile, good work from Force India this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.